Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first kind of live showing here on Texas Hunting Lease Listings. I'm Braxton Huggins. I'm the founder of Texas Hunting Lease Listings and one of the admins of here of the group. This evening, we got Scott Estes. He is the founder of Vika Camo as well as Denali Rods. Scott, welcome.
Well, thanks, Braxton. I appreciate you having me on.
So the first question I got to ask, what does Vika mean and how did it get started?
As far as the name Vika,
Yeah.
yeah, Vika. Well, when we started the camo, if you look at our camo pattern, you'll see there's camouflage was obviously a big part of what we wanted to do, and we kind of emulated a snake in it. If you look deeply, you can see kind of some of the scales pattern. And so when we were originally looking at it, we were kind of looking at Viper for being the name of our camo. And as we
All
got
right.
further along in it, our attorney kind of discouraged us from doing that, so it would be hard to trademark that. But we already had some of the branding done, and with the V, and we liked kind of the 5 letters on it, just had a nice, easy ring to it. And so we just went with Vika because VY was already in place, and CAH, that's the name of my 3 kids, Connor, Ashlyn, and Hunter. So it has some
Okay,
meaning to
cool.
me. And I'll tell you what, naming something, whether it be fishing rods in the fishing business or a new company, is the absolute hardest thing in the world because everything is taken. So basically, you make up a name and you run with it.
Yeah, that's actually going to be my next question. Was what was the hardest part of getting Vika off the ground? And if you had any advice, what would that be to give to somebody that was starting the business?
Well, as far as the name goes, just pick something and fall in love with it. I promise you, there's worse names out there. So and once people get used to it, it just becomes a name, and hopefully at some point it just becomes a household name.
Yeah. Well, I know that Vika has quite a few different styles of camouflage. So here we are. We're halfway through September, getting into October, getting into early season. What are some of the things that we should, as hunters, look for in our camo patterns, or whenever we're going to select something? What are some of the good things to look for, but also what to consider in terms of what type of material, what type of pattern, and anything like that whenever it comes down to picking the right camo.
Yeah, well, you mentioned early season, so I'll talk about that first. The material is going to come down to what we hang our hat on is quiet material. I'm an avid
Okay.
bow hunter, and one of my main things I wanted with this camo was something that was extremely quiet. So when you draw back a bow, it doesn't make that that unnatural sound in the woods that has scared off a big buck for all of us. So all the clothing we manufacture is quiet. Now you get into early season, I will hunt when it's 90 to 95 degrees. I mean, in fact, I'm on the
Right.
border of Missouri and Arkansas, and I'm probably going to go hunting on Thursday, which is opening day in Missouri, and it's going to be 89 degrees for a high, I think. But if you hunt early season, it's a great time to kill a big buck because
Yeah.
they're patternable.
Right.
But it's still 90 degrees. And so what we've done with our early season camo is we've just got ventilation built all through it. We've got our Vika, our shirt, our Xenix shirt, and our Xenix Stealth shirt, and ventilation all through it. It's made of a very porous material. It's got a lot of flex to it. It's extremely lightweight. And then all down, the armpits and down the sides, it's got mesh ventilation built in. And then kind of the same concept on the pants. The Xenix pants, they're a ripstop polyester, super thin, and then we've got breathing chambers all down, through the crotch area, down the sides. There's a zipper that you can zip them down and open them up to the outside. So it's just all about air circulation and trying your best to stay cool when it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's a lot of different brands out there, and there's a lot of different camo styles. What are some of the things that make Vika different, and what makes it stand out amongst everybody else?
Yeah, and I'll go back to what I said a while ago. The main thing I was trying to do, I've designed every bit of this myself because I am an avid bow hunter. I mean, it's what I love to do. I travel all over the country bow hunting. And the main thing we wanted was to be able to find a niche because there's some great companies out there making camo. And to go side by side with those guys, you got to kind of find your niche. So we wanted something that kind of, focused on bow hunting, tree stand bow hunting, and not that our gear is only used for tree stand bow hunting, because we've got guys using it bear hunting, elk hunting, whatever. But it goes back to just something we wanted, something ultra quiet. And then on top of that, we had to have the durability, we had to have the quality. And I also own an outdoor store in Mountain Home, Arkansas. And, I've seen it.
All
We've
right.
got a lot of clothing in there. And there's so much quality in some of the high end, outdoor brands. I'm not talking about camo. I'm talking about some great lines, like Columbia and Patagonia and Cool. And we wanted kind of that same type of quality within our camo. And that was, one of the things we were not going to start this until we felt like we had that. And, I think we have certainly done that. So, we've got the quality, we've got the durability, and it's extremely functional. So we're just trying to find our own little niche.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you're going up to Missouri to hunt. Is that the only place that you'll be hunting this season?
Oh no. And you make me smile. And I'm just, I love this time of year. That will be my first hunt just because it opens in a couple of days. In Arkansas here, we start, I think it's September 26th this year. This year I've got slated to hunt Kansas. I'm going to be in Wisconsin. I might get over to Illinois, and I'll certainly hunt Missouri some as well. So I try and hit, a number of big states, big deer states. I get kind of useless this time of year, if you ask my wife.
So you're not going to come to Texas?
Well, I would certainly love to come to Texas. I've been there many a times. And as my schedule goes, I may end up down there because you guys got some great deer hunting down there. I love hog hunting down there too.
Well, you're always welcome, that's for sure. And yes, we have plenty of hogs to go around. Obviously you're able to travel and hunt a lot of different states. What are some of your favorite memories or most fond memories of whether it be just a general outdoors trip, whether you're hunting, whether you're fishing? What are some of the things that stand out the most for you?
Well, I think a lot of it for a lot of us, it goes back to our childhood. And I actually grew up in southern Nevada, in the middle of desert country. So my hunting consisted of going out and chasing lizards and snakes and things like that. But we did also grow up on Lake Mead, which is a huge reservoir out there. And so I got to fish quite a bit. And I grew up loving to fish. I always knew I'd end up hunting. I just, my parents didn't hunt. It was never really within my family, but I always had an interest. But the fishing was very much, my dad was a school teacher and he tournament fished, did that all the time. But some of my greatest memories are just, the trips with him and my brother, going up to the mountains and, bringing the camper with us and just like any childhood memory. It just rings home. And as I've gotten older now, I started hunting when I moved out here to Arkansas. I was, about 19 years old when I started hunting, and really every memory along the way has just been, I can't get enough of it. I'm closing in on 50 now. I feel like I'm a beginning hunter because I still have that drive every time I go out in the woods.
Yeah. Well, I know that we've asked some questions around Vika, but being an avid fisherman, I know that you're also the CEO of Denali Rods. Talk a little bit about how you got into that. I know it's obviously a passion, but how did you, get into the engineering aspect of these rods? Because there's so many different types.
Denali Rods was just more of a life circumstance for me. I love to hunt, I love to fish. I always have. And it was just something I was always interested in. And at the time I started Denali, I was actually working at Bass Cat Boats. And I'm sure most of you fishermen are familiar with Bass Cat Boats, but they're a premium, build a fantastic boat. And so I was around tournament fishermen all the time and just generally around fishing. And so this was in 2008. I started dabbling, with what would become Denali Rods. And, it was just something that started really in my office at Bass Cat Boats. It was something I did under the umbrella of Bass Cat for a little while. And it started with an 8-rod series. Our old Rosewood series was the first rods we ever did. And anyway, it quickly grew. There was quickly interest, and it quickly enabled me the opportunity to, take this business. And I started working out of my garage for a year, moved into a building, then moved into a bigger building. And then now I think I'm in my 4th location. Now we've got over 20,000 square feet. And those awesome. 8 SKUs are now, well over 100 SKUs. We've got hundreds of dealers, and it's just been a great success story. And the neatest thing for me about all of it is just, I love being in the outdoor industry, meeting people like yourself, and just everybody loves the outdoors. We can all share stories, and you feel blessed every day.
Yeah. And that's definitely apparent on your website. And I was kind of browsing around prior to our call, and stumbled upon kind of the field staff element. Tell me a little bit about that, and tell me how, individuals, whether it be like myself or outfitters or, just outdoor enthusiasts, can become a part of that field staff.
Yeah, with Vika, we're really looking to grow our field staff. I really believe in grassroots growth. Um, that's in me. And so is to get more product out there. And so we are looking to grow our field staff. And, we have a field staff, we have an outfitter program, a guide program. It's just things to put product in people, put it on hunters. And, it's a discount
Right.
program. And obviously in exchange for that discount program, we're just looking for promotion. Promotion can happen in so many different ways, whether it's telling your friends, whether it's through social media. There's so many different ways to do it. So that's something we're aggressively pursuing right now, is just trying to grow our staff. And it's not just we give you a discount and we go from there. We're very hands-on with it. We really like to talk to our guys. We like to learn from our guys. They help us develop product. They help us become better than we were today. So it's a process that we take very seriously, but it also helps us grow the brand.
Definitely. And, saying that, if we're tuned into the live stream and to the podcast this evening, all the members of Texas Hunting Lease Listings, the group, we're going to go ahead and do a 20% off discount for all the Vika gear. So you can use the promo code that you see, scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there, and go check out all their stuff. Go check out what they have to offer. It's not just camo; they have casual gear as well. So definitely go ahead and take a look at that whenever you have a chance this evening. Scott, before we wrap this thing, what are some of the things that you want to be able to pass on to your children in terms of hunting and fishing and just being a general outdoor enthusiast? Anything come to mind?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's just the legacy that our fathers passed on to us, and it's so hard in this cell phone world, in this video game world, to get the kids interested in it. But that is my one and only desire, as far as the outdoors goes with my kids, is just to get them out there. Every child is going to be different. Obviously, I've got 3 kids, and they've got different levels of hunting desire. But I at least want to give them that opportunity and share my passion with them. And, you hope it picks up, and you hope it turns into a lifelong thing. To get out there, you get away, you get to eat fried food and just have a good old time and go out and see some big deer. And there's just nothing like deer camp, and deer camp with your kids is just that much more special.
Yeah, definitely. Well, again, thanks for joining us this evening. For those that are still looking for a lease, we post our leases every Wednesday morning. Be sure to check out the group on that. And like I said, for all the members of the group, we're going to put a promo code into the comments. You guys go check out Vika and check out all the things that they have to offer. Scott, really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you having me on.